Hi, so today we're going to start working on finger picking, and my philosophy when it comes to learning to play the guitar or just music in general is it doesn't have to be difficult. If we start at the most basic level and we build a simple skill and then we master that skill and we build on that skill, it doesn't ever have to be difficult. It just almost guaranteed it's going to take longer than you want it to. But we're going to start with the simplest thing. I'm going to give you two choices as far as which fingers play which string. And this is also in my series about developing good guitar technique, but I want to repeat this to make sure nobody misses it. First, I'll show you what you may have already seen. I used to start people with assigning the assignments, basically assigning the thumb to the sixth string, assigning pointer finger to the third string, assigning tall finger to the second string, and ring finger to the first string. A lot of finger picking can be accomplished with this basic beginning place. However, so if you already feel like, we'll talk about technique in a minute, if you already feel like you have a good right hand technique, you could start there with a simple pattern, thumb, finger, finger, finger. But we want to talk about technique, and then you'll understand why this is, I really think this is the best place to start for most people. And the reason why is, well, first of all, what I'm showing you is classical style right hand. And when you think about it, there isn't anything a classical guitarist cannot do. So I believe there are other techniques that people do nice things with. You might see this, which this is not a good technique where you get the opposable thumb thing. It's very natural. We do a lot of things like this, and when we're plucking with our fingers and plucking with our thumb, we have a tendency to do the opposable thumb thing. And that's not what you want. What you want when you're playing, let me just demonstrate in a pretty song. And I want you to notice my thumb is plucking like that. These fingers are plucking like that. So just make a nice relaxed fist, not tight, just relaxed. And just feel how when you open your hand, close your fingers, close your thumb right there. That is the way you're going to want your hand to move. Thumb is going to play more like a circle, not like going towards your fingers. We don't want that. I'm sorry about the glare. We don't want it coming toward the fingers. Thumb, and that might be, and if you have trouble with that, you might want to spend some time. See, this is a perfect example. I keep realizing that there's no end to how much you can break it down into one little thing. And instead of, what I just showed you, thumb here, fingers here, play all that, let's spend a little time, just nice relaxed fist, and just see how that feels like to let your thumb spend a little time just getting that feeling. And if you're already playing like this, it can seem frustrating at first to change it, but if you just spend a few minutes at the beginning of your practice doing something like this, where you're not playing chords, you're not trying to make music, you're just feeling how your thumb works. And you're paying attention to your body, you're trying to not develop tension in your shoulders or your hand. Just only the thumb. If you do that for a few minutes, you can forget about it and go on and play. And don't worry if that creeps back in, because this will develop an awareness, and gradually it will become second nature to you. So the reason I like starting with 3 fingers here is because it's a lot easier to develop a technique where your fingers are coming under here where you want them to, under your palm, and your thumb is behaving like it should. If we start here, it's very tempting to do the opposable thumb thing. So your best bet is to start here. Unless you feel like you already have a good right hand technique. But if you already have a good right hand technique, then you might want to join us again a few lessons later, because we're starting with the very, very basics. So take these 3 fingers, put thumb on the 3rd string, put pointer on the 2nd string, and tall finger on the 1st string. And now take a moment to look at your fingers. This is what we do not want, where the thumb is working close to the fingers. If your thumb and your fingers look close together, just slide your thumb that way and your fingers that way. See how my hand turned like that? So if you're having trouble getting your thumb, we want your thumb out this direction, pointing toward the head of the guitar, and your fingers coming back underneath. Notice how my wrist is really straight. We're not doing this. So let's back up a little. Start with a nice straight hand. Straight, relaxed hand, okay? Then gentle fist. See where my thumb is pointing? We're going to stray from this as little as possible. So with this, that's what it looks like underneath. With this relaxed fist, see how my thumb is already way out here and my fingers are way under here? So let's put the thumb here on the 3rd string, finger, finger. So this, notice how far away my fingers are from my thumb. So you can do this a little bit just to notice that you don't have to be like this. Fingers can slide that way, thumb can slide that way. So this is what we're going for. Nice straight wrist, not cockeyed wrist. See how my fingers are at an angle? We're not talking about right angles here. The fingers are actually playing. If you have this technique, you will naturally be playing with the side of your finger, not right there. You'll be playing with that part of your finger against the string. This is not only efficient, when we start talking about nails, this produces a very good tone as well. So there's, when you're going through the lesson, you might want to just stop, push pause, and spend some time on this before you do the next thing. Get the hang of this. And once you get the hang of this, you're going to pluck. And when you pluck with your thumb, at first, let it come back to your fist. That'll give you the feeling of landing, back with that nice relaxed fist. You're not going to always make a fist, but that will help you. So what's going to happen here is thumb, finger, finger, relax. Total relaxation. Feel how it feels right now to be relaxed. Put them back on the strings. Thumb, finger, finger. Relax completely. Thumb, index, tall finger. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Thumb, index, tall finger. This should feel very relaxed. There shouldn't be much tension here, but when you open, that makes relaxation. It's very good for you to relax often. If you remain tense, that weakens your muscles, and everything we just talked about is going to help you develop a way of finger style guitar where it's the easiest way to accomplish the nice sounds that you're trying to make, which makes it sound prettier if you're not struggling, and it also helps avoid tension, pain, and injury. So let's just talk about, let's save this one for the next lesson. Let's just talk about some musical things we can do with that pattern that you just learned. First of all, the first 3 strings open make an E minor chord. If you're familiar with E minor, you only squeeze the 4th and 5th string. So these first 3 strings are already an E minor chord, like no left hand required. So just play that and know that that is 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. That is an E minor chord. Now, let's put a finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret. That happens to be a C note. And if you play these, same 3 strings, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, That's actually a C chord. It's a smaller C chord. So if you play, I'm going to show you this. Let's change our pattern just a little bit. Once you get good at going up through third, second, first, then go third string, second string, first string, second string. 3, 2, 1, 2. 3, 2, 1, 2. Like that. You might want to spend some time getting used to that, but make sure that's easy first. And then, once that is easy, you can play this small C chord with a finger, first fret, second string. I have to pause to make sure I don't say it backwards. So I'm playing 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. So any 2-chord song you can play like this. Something a little bit more hip and cool would be, I think I can play a short piece without having to pay royalties. Don't let me down, E minor chord, E minor chord. Don't let me down, D chord. But remember, it's important to focus on one little thing until it's comfortable. So if it's difficult to do what I just did, make your chord. Like I say, if you're struggling with D, don't struggle with the finger picking and the D chord. You know, work on them separately and then put them together. So that's the beginning of finger picking. Let's meet again soon. I'm going to record the other lesson right now. Maybe I'll post it now. Maybe I'll wait a few days or a week. But make sure each thing I give you is easy before you build up to the next thing. And let me know if you have any questions. You can, of course, play other chords too, but those are a couple that I thought would be easy to start with. Talk to you later. Bye.